Hi, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of Study Abroad Like a G, the podcast. My name is Justine. I'm the host and founder of Study Abroad Like a G. And on this episode, we're going to talk about something super important. Like, you can go abroad, but this document makes it easier for you to do that. It gives you access in and out of countries. It shows where your final destination probably or may be, or if anything happens, what country or consulate or embassy to contact. It is passport. This is my passport that I have had for, I think, keep a passport up to 11 years, and this is about to expire. So, yeah, I will have to renew my passport. But we're gonna talk about passports, why my passport is precious to me, why it is so important to get one. I think everybody should get one. And I'm also going to give you a few tips on where you can get one and where you can possibly get a free one. So, quickly, the reasons why my passport is precious is because it's the one thing besides me and besides other friends, but even outside of other friends, that has literally been everywhere that I have been. It has been to every country I've been to. It has given me privileges in countries that some people, because their passport is not blue and it's not, of the United States, they don't get that. So that's why I love my passport dearly. It also has visas in it. It has memories from stamps. I can show you a few stamps. I think these are in Morocco. And these are some stamps that I've gotten. And so for me, my passport is literally like love. And I think I've used every except like one page. So yeah, I love my passport. I remember there was a time I thought I left my passport, and I was about to study abroad for a semester, and I realized my passport was in my storage unit for college because I went to college out of state. So it was easier to just put all my things from my room into a storage unit, come pick it up, a few months later when I moved back into school. And I was like crying, like hyperventilating because I could not remember where it was. And then I'm like in my mind picturing my room. Well, where did you have it? Where could you have put it? And then I remembered where I put it. It was with all my things that would have gone on my desk. And I found it. And I just like literally was me standing in the middle, well, outside in the middle of the storage unit, just like holding my passport. And I know that people are looking on the camera because they were like, "Are you okay? We just saw you holding yourself in your storage unit." And I was like, "Yeah, I was looking for my passport." And so that's how important it is to me, because that moment I thought I was gonna lose it. I was crying, literally crying. So my passport is super important, but we're gonna talk about how simple it can be to get one. So, say you are in undergrad or you're about to get into undergrad, or you're in graduate school, I would say check out with your global studies department or international studies, whoever deals with studying abroad at your institution, and reach out and say, "Hey, I need to get a passport. Is there a way that the school can help me get one?" A lot of institutions have a way where you can get one of these either heavily discounted or free. And it may be something as simple as writing an essay or just writing your name down on a piece of paper. I promise you, it can be that simple. Passports can be pricey, also depending on when you need them. If I said I need a passport and I need it in 3 weeks, it's going to cost me some money, probably close to $500 to $600 or more. And that's also not counting if I need a visa. But what uh, it can cost regularly without that, I would say about 250 to 350. That also depends on your age. When you're younger, you're under the age of, I think, 18, it's a little bit cheaper. But once you are adult, it can cost more. So that's why I say always look up free options. There are tons of ways to get heavily discounted or free passports. So just check with your institution and see what they can do. They may even have a scholarship. They may say, "Hey, we can't pay for it for you, but we can find somebody who's willing to pay for it for you." free money, no matter how, well, free money comes in different ways. I'm not going to say no matter how it comes, because sometimes it does matter. But always remember, there's always someone out there willing to pay for it for you. And it can be as simple as paying for their passport that can help open doors for you. Because there's a lot of programs out there, study abroad wise, that are free. They'll pay for your flight, or they'll pay for the entire program, the tuition, all that. And you're just like, well, I don't have 300 something dollars to get one of these. Don't worry. There are ways. So make sure you go to the international office or the study abroad office to do that and ask for those resources, because more likely they are waiting to be like, here, apply for this. This will get you free this and this will give you that. So please make sure you do that. Also, quickly talk about the privileges of having a passport, and specifically having a blue passport, also known as a US passport. The privileges are endless, which can be a good thing. And also a thing you kind of want to make sure you navigate carefully and properly when you're in other countries. For people who come from larger Western countries, such as the US, the UK, Canada, possibly Germany, those are like really huge Western countries. And very well known internationally. They also hold some type of, some form of power internationally, on the international stage as well. So when you have that passport, going to other countries can be super easy for you, or it can be super hard. I always say that because the color of my passport, I've been able to do so much. People have been willing to do things for me because they realize that I'm American. That's not everybody's first thought though when they see me, but that's another story that will be covered in another episode of the podcast. But your passport and the privileges that come with it, I think that whenever you have a privilege, make sure you use that privilege not just to your advantage, but to the advantage of others who may not have it. So, for example, say there is some type of issue happens, and you have a friend who may be of a different country, but somehow you were there and something happens, whatever the issue may be. Maybe their bike was stolen. And you understand that maybe them by themselves would not be able to get proper help in that country. So you stand in to help, be a middleman to help them get that help with the local authorities or things like that. And that can be super helpful, because sometimes people will hear your accent and they're like, oh, they're American, and they're calm and they're okay with that. Whereas some people, they hear a different accent and they automatically don't like that person because of certain notions that they've heard, or because of the specific culture. So I'll always say your passport is precious. Once you get one, you don't have to be like me and literally take it everywhere you go. But when you get one, make sure you keep it in a safe place. If that means you have like a little safe, you have a bag that you keep in a bag that's here, and you know that that's the only place it could be, do that. But a passport is very precious. It is literally your ticket to the world. So get one. Please get one. Go to the US State Department website and they will show you how to apply for a passport. But also, if you're at an institution, please, 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 please stop by or send an email or call, whatever you have to, tweet, slide in the DMs if they have a Instagram or a Facebook, and go on and reach out and say, what can I do to apply for my passport? Also, quick note, say you have citizenship in another country, make sure that when applying for a passport, you have documents from that as well. Because when you're applying for a passport, especially a US passport, they're going to want to know if you have citizenship in another country, because those are things that they would like put down so they know. So it also makes it easier for you. So then you can like interchangeably use the passports. Well, in a sense of, if you leave the US using your US passport, you have to return to the US with your US passport. But say that you leave the US with your US passport and you're saying, okay, I'm going to Spain, but I also have a Jamaican passport, or I also have not a Jamaican passport. I also have a UK passport, and this is really good because they're both in Europe now. The UK is no longer a part of the EU, which also stands for the European Union. But um, it is easier to maneuver when you are part of a European country and you have a European passport versus having a US passport trying to maneuver in a European country when it comes to checking in and going through customs and things like that. It's much quicker when you have a passport of that area or that region of the world versus having one that is literally across the pond. So I have been in that situation. I have one of my dear friends. She has US, UK, Jamaica. She has three passports. She has citizenships in three countries. And for her, she can just kind of like, oh, like, okay, I'm gonna use this passport because I know it's gonna be easier for me to get through customs versus using my US passport. And I was like, oh, I wish I could. I wish I could do that. So that's just a little tidbits and some tips on passports. And I hope you go on the State Department website and you apply to get a passport. And that is about it for this episode of Study Abroad Like a G. And I can't wait to see you all next time. Bye.